Then there's this more pointed question. How did Thompson come to question Alexander Butterfield about the tapes? Thompson already knew what Butterfield would say because Butterfield had spilled it all 3 days before in a private meeting with committee investigators. The Democratic investigator was Scott Armstrong. He had obtained an old memo written by Fred Thompson. The memo was intended to be seen only by the committee's Republicans. Thompson had summarized a set of attack points delivered from the White House for the Dean cross-examination. The memo included long quotations from Nixon. Armstrong laid the memo in front of Butterfield and asked about the long quotes. Was there a stenographer in the Oval Office? Did Nixon dictate something? Butterfield said no and no. With the question still hanging there after 3 hours, Armstrong turned it over to his Republican counterpart, Don Sanders. Armstrong now puts it this way.
If it weren't for Thompson having created the document and collaborated with the White House on that, taping system wouldn't have been found.
Armstrong was amazed, and still is, by what the tape revelation did for Fred Thompson.
I thought Thompson would be filling out his resume looking for new work.
Thompson's campaign didn't respond to an NPR request to speak with the candidate. But his recollections were recorded in 1992 at a reunion of Watergate Committee veterans for a program called the Public Radio Law Show. Here's Thompson recalling how the tape question first came up.
Don Sanders on the staff really was the guy who asked the question at a staff meeting. He came to me and told me that, and that was kind of my reaction, somewhat of a surprise, to say the least.
This tape comes from the library of the University of Missouri, Columbia, which got Sanders' papers after he died in 1999. At the 1992 reunion, Sanders recalled asking Butterfield point blank if there was a taping system.
And he said, well, I was hoping you wouldn't question me about that. I wondered what I would say if I were asked that, but I feel like I have to tell the truth, so he did.
And so how did Thompson find out? Here's Don Sanders.
I called Fred out of the local pub. Did he tell you about that? And I went down and got him out, and because he was talking to some reporters, I got him away from them and took him out on the street corner and told him the story.
Once Thompson had been told, the Democrats on the committee were glad to let him be the one to drop the bombshell on TV.